Now to another figure who has had a massive impact on the arts and entertainment world. I don't know if you can believe it, but it's been 40 years since Prince's Purple Rain era. 40 years! No! And to celebrate and commemorate, there's this beautiful new coffee table book out right now that looks back at this time. I mean, it's beautiful. The cover is velvet. It's amazing. And I got to speak with the author, Andrea Swensson, who once interviewed Prince. All right, Andrea. Well, I have to say, I have been told that this book is like a love letter to Prince, and it seems like it. I mean, there's just so much thought and care from the gorgeous velvet cover to all the beautiful pieces inside that kind of catalog his life and career. What was your experience like meeting and covering Prince?
I mean, it's so surreal to even think about that. I'm coming up on the 10th anniversary of meeting him. It was actually the 30th anniversary of Purple Rain coming out when I got called out to Paisley Park to meet with him. I had been covering him on a radio station where I worked, and he wanted to talk to me about that. You know, it was so surreal to be in person and face to face with him. We were almost the exact same height while he was wearing his platform shoes, and I was standing, right in front of him. And my first impression was just his eyes are enormous and he's looking directly into my soul.
Oh my gosh. Wait, he reached out to you. He said, I want to meet you. You cover the local radio and you've covered me. That's got to be so incredible.
It was, I had been writing about him for many years and I'd had some interactions with his camp and people that worked with him. So I knew that I was on his radar, which
Right.
alone was so odd. But then to actually go out there and have a conversation with him was, yes, very much an out of body experience. I had to just keep pinching myself like, this is really happening.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. Well, we're now at 40 years, which I can't believe. It's such a magical and wonderful time. What makes Purple Rain so unique?
There's so many things that are so unique and singular about it. And Prince was such a comprehensive artist in the way that he came up with these ideas. It wasn't just an album, it wasn't just a film, it was a look, it was fashion, it was makeup, it was a vibe, it was Minneapolis. He built this whole world for us to step into when he made Purple Rain. And I think that's why it still feels so vivid now. I mean, it looks like obviously the 80s, like it was filmed in 1984, but it also just looks so Prince, like it could almost be any time.
It is, and you know what? It's so fabulously 80s too. Like, I mean, I actually watched it fairly recently and thought, I love this movie. Like, it's a great film. And the song is just such a part of American culture. It's such a huge part of the time. What is the importance of Prince and the film, not just to Minneapolis, which I do want to ask you about, but beyond?
I mean, it's almost difficult to unpack how influential it was because his work has been so interwoven into pop culture, into music, into so many things that have been created since. But it's just one of those kind of genre-defining, generation-defining, decade-defining works of art that, had so much impact on everything that came out in the 80s following it. He went from being this kind of underground, avant-garde art rock artist to being one of the top pop stars of his generation. And it happened all in the year that Purple Rain was released.
It's amazing. I think Prince, we all know him as this incredible musician he is, but I feel like sometimes we're looking at, certain stars like Taylor Swift defying the music industry now, but he was really one of the first who said, hey, this isn't right. And I'm going to show the world that I am not going to put up with it. And at the time kind of teased for choosing his name to be the artist formerly known as Prince, but that was a real stand he took, wasn't it?
Absolutely. And I think you're so right in bringing up Taylor Swift. She's re-recording all of her material so that she owns her own masters. And Prince is the one that said in the 90s, if you don't own your masters, your master owns you. He was so defiant when it came to ownership and what it meant to be part of this major label recording industry. And he said, look, I signed my contract when I was only 19 years old. I didn't know that I was signing away, a lifetime of work, that it would always be owned by other people. And he fought so hard to get control of that back. And now we're seeing these artists that are brave enough to take these stands. It's amazing.
Yeah, but it started with him, and I think that's so important. Losing Prince was such a devastating moment for the music industry, for all of us fans, taken too soon. What do you think his lasting legacy is on music?
I think it is that if you have raw talent and you work and work towards your goals, you can do amazing things. And he was such an advocate for music education, for putting instruments in the hands of young kids and making sure that the next generation was also going to learn the value of being able to play music. So I think his legacy lives on in anyone that's picking up a guitar or learning to play piano for the first time and has a dream to be the next star.
A beautiful story.